In rural Africa, the village of Nyaniba sat quietly, nestled between forest and rivers. Once peaceful, it had been plagued by fear for generations. The villagers whispered about the Night Stalker, an evil spirit said to haunt the village after dark. They believed this sinister entity was responsible for the mysterious deaths and disappearances that haunted them. The elders described its terrifying form, glowing red eyes, claws that could rip through flesh, and an otherworldly scream that chilled anyone who heard it. Too afraid to challenge the stories, the villagers imposed a strict curfew, ensuring no one ventured out after sundown. For Ekooa, the curfew felt like a prison. She had always questioned the tales, and the death of her brother, Kwame, only deepened her doubts. Kwame had been a village guard, tasked with protecting them from the terror. One night, his lifeless body was found near the northern entrance, his face frozen in terror. The elders claimed he had died of a heart attack brought on by fear, but Ekooa couldn't accept it. Kwame had been strong and fearless. Something darker was at play. Determined to uncover the truth, Ekooa began her investigation. She spoke with Uncle Ato, an elderly guard who had served for decades. His face, lined with age, bore the weight of unspoken truths. In a hushed voice, he revealed a chilling secret. "I saw it, Ekooa," Uncle Ato whispered. "A shadow, moving like smoke, slipping from the palace at night. It wasn't natural. I told Nana Kofi, but he silenced me. Those who speak of it disappear. Be careful." The mention of the palace sent a chill through Ekooa. Nana Kofi, the village chief, was revered. His wisdom and authority were unquestioned. Yet, Uncle Ato's unease was undeniable. When Ekooa pressed him for more details, he fell silent, his eyes darting nervously. "The guards who spoke out never returned," Uncle Ato continued. "It's not just a spirit. It's worse, far more dangerous. Leave it alone." The next morning, Uncle Ato vanished without a trace. His house stood empty, and no one had seen him since the night before. This wasn't the first time someone disappeared after mentioning strange happenings near the palace. Ekooa knew she was on the right track. That night, she staked out the palace, hiding in the shadows. The village was eerily quiet, the usual nocturnal sounds replaced by oppressive silence. Hours passed, and just before dawn, she saw it, a cloaked figure slipping through the palace gates. Her breath caught as she recognized him. It was Nana Kofi. His movements were unnaturally graceful, and though cloaked, his outline was unmistakable. The revered chief was the Night Stalker. Ekooa's heart raced. She had to confront him, but before she could move, a hand gripped her shoulder, dragging her into the forest. She struggled but was no match for the figure's strength. They reached a clearing where a dark lair stood beneath twisted trees. In the clearing, she saw the bodies of the missing guards, scattered around the blood-soaked altar. Nana Kofi stood at the center, chanting in a strange language. The stench of death filled the air. Ekooa realized the horrifying truth. Nana Kofi wasn't just the Night Stalker, he was performing dark rituals, sacrificing villagers to fuel a malevolent power. Before she could act, the sound of footsteps broke through the night. A group of villagers, armed with spears and machetes, charged into the clearing. They had followed her, but as they moved closer, dread filled Ekooa. Was this the right move? Were they walking into a trap? The chief turned, his eyes glowing red, his voice echoing with dark power. The villagers, unaware of the true danger, were charging into the heart of darkness. Ekooa stood frozen, torn between confronting the chief and stopping the villagers. Could they defeat Nana Kofi, or were they falling into his snare? Would the village survive, or was it too late to stop the evil rooted in Nyaniba?